Today we're coming to you with Brother to Brother. I got Brother Clyde French. We're going to come to you today with some very interesting topics regarding our youth. And before we get started, I'm going to let Brother Clyde introduce himself and let you guys know a little bit about what he does.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Thomas, for being here. My name is Clyde French, as he said, and I'm the Executive Director of Score One, which is the Teen Dating Violence Prevention Program. Here in the High Desert, Score One is an acronym for Safe, Control, Options, Resource, and Education. And we feel it's our duty and our goal to reach out to the youth in the High Desert and surrounding areas and teach them and equip them with the necessary skills needed to have a health and safe dating relationship. We feel that this is something that has been on the outskirts of a lot of different cities, and as far as being a problem within the schools and those type of issues like that. And we feel this is something that all the kids can benefit from. There's no certain ethnic group or certain economical group or race or anything like that that seems to have more issues in this area than others. But we feel it's important for all kids to know and understand the importance of teen dating violence prevention and the negative aspects of it as you grow older and older.
How long have you had this vision, and when did your organization first take root, and how did you get started?
Well, about 2 years ago is when I decided that it was appropriate time for me to begin my agency. I had worked at other agencies before that focused on teens. I have always worked with teens in some form or fashion, and this is what I was led to continue to do. So about 2 years ago, we started Score One, which we felt was appropriate time as far as what we heard was going on within the schools. There wasn't a whole lot of information out there available to the youth, and we felt that with my experience working in this field before in education, and we were able to bring it to the different schools and make a difference within the children that go to those schools. And our target age range is 11 to 17. So our focus is catching those children that before they become adults and having more severe consequences for any type of things like this. We want to educate those children at a younger age and try to instill those skills in them while they're at a young developing process.
Well, you say from 11 to 17?
Yes, 11 to 17 is our target range where we reach out to young men and young women in regards to teen dating violence prevention.
What do you think the root of teen dating violence is? 11 is kind of early to be dating.
Yes.
And also, what is your view on when youth should start dating?
Well, 11 is a young age to be dating, and the reason that we say 11 is because we're equipping the children with the skills that they need, because pretty soon, within the next couple of years, they will be dating for sure. So, for me, I think 13 is the appropriate age to begin some type of, if that's your desire, and you talk with your parents like that, to have some type of relationship. But our whole focus on 11 is that we want to start instilling those skills in the children at a younger age. So when they get to 13, they're not learning at that moment right then. So we feel that 11 is old enough to receive the information, even though you may not be actively dating at that time. A lot of the root cause that we see is this is what children have seen in their home maybe, or they've seen on the school grounds, or what they hear about that is the appropriate way to handle relationships and things of that nature. And most times it's not the correct way. So we feel that we need to come to them and give them different options and the appropriate way to have a relationship, which is free from abuse, free from any type of mental, sexual, or psychological abuse, or physical abuse toward either partner.
Well, when you talk about relationships, as adults, relationships, we get married, we have kids.
Right.
Generally, what is the focus of relationships with youth? And when you talk about sex and you talk about things that couples do,
Right.
I know it may be a little controversial when you talk about youth, but youth are going to do what they do. Whether you try to avoid certain things, I mean, we were kids at one time, and I know my mother set good standards for me. However, I still deviated. So the focus of relationships, what do you try to hit on? I mean, are you, do you talk to them about where your relationship is going? What do you want out of this relationship? What does a relationship mean to you? I mean, when you, can you expound on that?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, we're going to focus on the appropriate dating relationship as far as being in an abusive relationship. So our main focus is to eliminate physical or mental or psychological abuse, sexual abuse that is being perpetrated by one person on another person. That's our main focus. And then within that, we're going to also touch on what's appropriate within a relationship. The things that you're doing, the things that you're, how you're working together with that person, when you're seen out in the community with that person, how you're appropriate in the community, you're appropriate at home, you're appropriate, within the school grounds, those type of things too. But like I said, initially we're going to focus on things that some kids may not even see that are going on with the relationship. And we call those the warning signs that you may be in a relationship that has the opportunity to turn into an abusive relationship. And just to give you the example, some of those things could be a person could change their appearance. Maybe they dress a certain way, another person wants to dress another type of way. Their grades could fall in school. We see kids missing school, their attendance starts to fall, their grades start to fall, those type of things. And a lot of times we just say, well, they're preoccupied with something else that's going on. But it could be their relationship that they're dealing with also. So we have the kids understand that there are many factors that could lead to an abusive relationship. We want to focus on that first, and then make sure the kids, if they're in a relationship like that, how to get out of it and move forward and understand that this is nothing that necessarily you can change as an individual, but the person who's perpetrating the abuse needs to change. You can't change that person for them also. So a lot of times, it's hard, but we have to step away from those type of relationships and let the other person go on and do what they need to do for themselves before we can have a relationship with them.
Yeah, I know. Like when you talk to kids about sex education, a lot of times the kids don't want to really open up to adults.
Right.
And when you talk about what is appropriate in a relationship, what is your method and getting kids to open up to you, and how do you express what is appropriate within a relationship?
Well, when we sit down and talk with the children in our seminars, our settings, our workshops, we have different topics that we're going to discuss with the children. A lot of times, and I say children, or it could be young teens. A lot of times once they understand that we're there and we're open to listen to them, they're going to bring stuff to us that also allows them to be more free and more forthcoming with what they're dealing with within a relationship. There may be opportunities where someone would tell you that, I'm being forced to have sex with my boyfriend because he said if I don't, he's going to leave me. Those type of things. So, if a person is engaged in those type of things, we do stress the importance of a safe relationship, sexual relationship also. But, we also talk about the appropriate time too, which is, there's maybe a number, there's no age number on it per se, but we do encourage people, that's something that's really, really important in your life. It's nothing you take for granted and just do it because you just want to. It's something that you can think about, discuss with, someone if you have the opportunity, if you feel that you can. But that's something that is more like a family type issue, more basically, something that they need to discuss with someone that they really trust and believe in, And like I said, our main focus, and which does touch on many different issues, is the appropriate relationship. When I say that appropriate, I do mean free of abuse, free of sexual abuse, free of physical abuse. And the thing about it, a lot of times we don't even understand that some abuse is going on when we feel it's just part of the game. Someone is constantly checking your emails or constantly checking your texts or your instant messages or calling you 30, 40 times and want to know where you are, those type of things. And we just think, oh, this person cares a lot for me, but in a way, it's a way of abuse. So those things will lead to other things that if they're allowed to be unchecked and just continue to fester from there.
It's interesting as you speak because my mind is racing. It appears that the abuser has emotional issues. If a person was to check a person's phone, call them, that shows signs of insecurity.
Right.
How do you deal with the emotional issues that youth are going through? Because I know that a lot of their issues may stem at home, and to deal with the parents may be an issue as well. But a lot of our youth that are growing up with certain issues and problems, it's emotional issues that they have, and how do you approach the emotional issues that are you find themselves having?
Well, being here in the high desert, we have different resources that we are able to tap into. Excuse me. That we're able to tap into. So when we meet the young teens and discuss our topic with them, we usually are coming to a facility that is sometimes that has these counselors on staff that may be working with these children already. But when we come in, we're just basically giving them a certain part of our curriculum with what we do. We're not psychologists, so we're not going to say that we're able to, deal with the emotional aspect of the children. But we can refer, because we go to the school and we do see something, we can refer to the school to let the school know this kid could be dealing with more than just, teen dating violence issues. But talking to the child, this is something that came out, so we do want to understand those issues and pass it on to the appropriate people within the school, or like I said before, if we're dealing with certain nonprofits and they're already in counseling, that's great. Because it is an emotional issue for these kids. They're constantly seeing some of the same things that's going on in their home, around their surroundings, and they think that's the correct way to handle these issues, and they're not. So like I said before, there's a circle of violence that's continue to go around and around and around. It needs to be broken. So, we're not able to necessarily give the emotional support that when I say emotional support, the emotional counseling or psychological counseling that's needed. But we will let people know, and most of the children that we do come and talk to are in a program where they're receiving those type of information already. If they're not, we will let someone know that can help direct the family, or at least that child, into a better environment as far as getting some help with their emotional issues also.
Well, we're going to come back and speak on some more issues. I thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned, because we got some more very powerful issues that me and Brother Clyde is going to talk about, and stay tuned.
Thank you.